Hi, architects. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button, like, and share our channel. Today we will be talking about manipulation in African marriages. Some marriages don't end in shouting, they end in silence. Not the peaceful silence of comfort, not the quiet of understanding, but the heavy silence that makes you question yourself, the silence that makes you walk on eggshells. The silence that punishes without explanation. And in many African homes, this silence is called maturity. But today, we're exposing the truth. This is not maturity. This is emotional withholding. And it is one of the most powerful forms of psychological control in marriage. Context. Why silence is powerful in African marriages. In many African cultures, respect means quietness. Conflict is seen as disrespect. A good wife doesn't argue. A real man doesn't explain himself. So when something goes wrong, instead of communication, you get distance. No greeting in the morning, no response at dinner, no eye contact, no touch. And because silence is normalized, nobody calls it abuse. But psychologically, silence is one of the most painful experiences for the human brain. The brain processes social rejection the same way it processes physical pain. So when your partner withdraws emotionally, your nervous system reacts like you've been injured. Your heart rate changes, your anxiety rises, your thoughts spiral, and the manipulator knows this. What emotional withholding really is. Emotional withholding is not taking space to cool off. Healthy space is communicated. Emotional withholding is intentional emotional starvation. It looks like withholding affection, withholding praise, withholding conversation, withholding intimacy, withholding reassurance, until the other partner feels unstable. And here's the key. The silence only ends when you apologize or comply. That is not conflict resolution. That is conditioning. How silent control trains obedience. Let's break the psychology down. Step 1, conflict happens. Step 2, manipulator withdraws emotionally. Step 3, victim feels anxiety and fear of abandonment. Step 4, victim apologizes or submits. Step 5, affection returns. Your brain connects obedience with relief. Over time, you stop expressing disagreement. You stop bringing up issues. You start self-correcting before conflict even happens. That is psychological training, and it works because humans fear emotional disconnection more than being right. How it plays out in African homes. In many households, emotional withholding looks like this. A husband stops speaking to his wife for days because she questioned him. A wife becomes cold and distant because she feels unheard, but instead of communicating, she punishes. Family members notice tension but say, "It will pass. It's normal. Don't overreact." Children grow up watching this. They learn that love disappears when someone disobeys, and the cycle continues into the next generation. Why it's more dangerous than shouting. Shouting is loud. Silence is invisible. When someone shouts, you know there is a problem. When someone withholds emotionally, you question yourself. You think, maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I talk too much. Maybe I should have kept quiet. Silence shifts blame internally. It makes the victim self-police. And the most powerful control is the one where you control yourself for them. The long-term damage. Over time, emotional withholding causes chronic anxiety, low self-esteem, fear of communication, emotional dependency, loss of identity. You become hyper-aware of mood changes. You monitor tone. You rehearse conversations in your head. You shrink to avoid punishment. And slowly, love turns into fear management. That is not marriage. That is survival. How to know if it's space or manipulation? Ask yourself, is the silence explained? Is there a timeline for reconnection? Does it happen every time there's disagreement? Does affection return only after I comply? If silence is used to control behavior, it is manipulation. If silence is used to regulate emotion and then reconnect, it is healthy. The difference is intention and pattern. Breaking the pattern. Emotional withholding survives on one thing: unspoken permission. The moment you calmly say, I will not engage with emotional punishment, when you're ready to talk respectfully, I'm here. You disrupt the conditioning. You refuse to chase. You refuse to beg. You refuse to shrink. And that is where power shifts. Silence can be peaceful, but silence can also be a weapon. If you feel smaller in your marriage, if you feel anxious when they go quiet, if love feels conditional, it may not be peace. It may be control. This is part 1 of the 7-part series. Kindly subscribe to watch the next episode on gaslighting in African marriages, because silence is only the beginning. Don't forget to stay observant, stay deliberate. See you in the next breakdown. Bye.